Last week in the Krispy Kreme National Series, we went road course racing for the first time on the season, and it was a wild one. And Nick Lopez became the second Ford driver and went number 3 for Ford on the season after hanging on to the win over Brad Ream and Felicity Mendoza. Here today, we have 12 races to go officially and 4 to go until the chase, and we are at a racetrack that we have not been to on the channel in 7 years. It's the Big Machine Records 250 at Nashville Superspeedway. What's up, everyone? It's your boy on Race 97, aka Nathan Stapleton here, and for the first time in 7 years, it is glad to say that we are back at Nashville Superspeedway. Of course, we were at the short track just down the road here in town for the E-Series last fall, but now on the big track, 1 1/3 mile concrete flat track, and this is going to be a fun weekend ahead for both National and Cup. I've been looking forward to this one for a while. I think the racing would be a lot better than what it was back in the day, and we also brought the same tire from Atlanta, and we should have 2 to maybe even 2.5 seconds of tire fall off, so that's going to be very interesting. We got Matthew Hooper up here in the booth, and one of the road drivers is on pole here for this one. Welcome to Nashville.
Great to be here. As you got through on the start, first time we've been here in 7 years, and from what you've been telling me, it's gonna race differently from other series who run this track. It's not gonna be as outside dominated, and that's gonna be a good thing for our pollster, which is, ironically enough, Matthew Burnett, the one driver who hasn't had the best of luck, to say the least. Only 24th in points, and considering his teammates are inside the top 10 and Logan Williams is leading, he'll need to do a lot to get ahead of his 57-point buffer from 10th place, or even the 20-point buffer to even be considered as a contender for the wildcards.
Absolutely. For Burnett, he's had a lot of speed this season, but he's had, I think, some of the worst luck in the National Series. He's gotten involved in some wets a couple of times, and then a couple of times when he was inside the top 5, he has blown a motor. So he's had speed, but he's not had the luck, and maybe that will all change around here in the Music City for that 43 machine. But after a crazy run in America, the points are all very tight, especially for the cut line. Top 9 are kind of breaking away, but it is really, really tight for 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. And a lot of those drivers are involved in the wildcard scenario. And drivers like Angel Gutierrez, Aaron Abel, Eric Monaco, Roberto Clown Jr., they could easily win to get into the wildcard picture. So, with all that in mind, and a racetrack we've not been on in 7 years, how do you think it's going to go here today?
Well, it's going to take a while for the drivers to get a grip to this track, but the racing's probably going to be similar to, say, Atlanta if the race stays caution-free, considering we're using the same tire we use there, which is given 2.5 second fall-off or so on the tires. Gotta be very interesting to see how the race will play out from there.
Absolutely. Kind of like Atlanta, if you have a long car, you might have a good shot to win here today. And here is the crucial race to the chase stands with only 4 races to go. And Logan Williams is still the regular season point leader, but is getting really tight for that regular season championship. Logan Williams has 321 points, and Avery Alford and Chris Jericho are tied for second with 312, 9 points back respectively. They are all 66 and 57 above the cutoff line. Felicity Mendoza is now 4th in points plus 47. Ben Watson, a consistent and quiet season for basically that can be said for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Quiet but consistent. Watson plus 44. Ned Lopez, a huge win last week at World America. And that double zero team now has a buffer on the wildcard spot. And it's plus 38. Duncan Ward plus 33. Kev Rose, 2-time winner now, plus 31. William Ayers, two-timer as well, plus 24. For those four, they're not really in a great spot, but they have those wins to rely on for the wild card. Brad Ream does not have a win, and he's only 4 points above the cut line. Ryan Dwyer, the best JGR driver here in the National Series this season, and it's not even been close. He's 4 points below the cutoff line. Aaron Abel -7. Jordan Stout as wildcard number 1. He's up second here today, and he's 11 points below the cutoff line. Angel Gutierrez in 14th, -13. Carlson Miller, he's been dropping a little bit concerned about that team, but he does have wildcard number 2 as of now, 15 points below. Eric Marco's been really fast as of late. He could win in any of the last 4 and get in, but right now he's -19. For Bo Country, -28. Alexander Lowe, -28, has a win. Could get back into the wild card picture today. Chris Mullins -30, and then Philip Doors -37. Juan Garcia -39. Benjamin Amari Jr. has free fall down the standings, now -49. Eli Blank -55. Matthew Burnett on pole here today, -57. And Kyle Craven struggled to start, starting to get that momentum up, but probably too little too late. 25th in points, -58. Matthew Burnett is on the pole here today, and we'll see if he can finally have some luck on his side here. And we got Jordan Stout looking for a second win on the season. He got win number 1 at Darlington. Aaron Abel, who's been sneaky fast in both series. And then Caleb Bowles looking for win number 3. Benjamin Amari Jr., who's free-falled. He wants to salvage the season, starting in 5th. And then how about Charlie Davenport? He's had a lot of potential, but he's not shown for it in these races. He starts 6th. Nick Lopez, last week's winner, still 7th. Eli Boy in 8th. And then William Ayers and Brandon Beal, a fantastic qualifying one, so it's inside the top 10. And then just going through the field, there's some big names that start a little bit further back than expected, like Eric Monaco, Ryan Dewani starts deep in the field, Alexander Woe, Avery Alford, Logan Williams, and then Carlson Miller, Anthony Hernandez, Duncan Ward, Benny Watson all started really deep in the field. That's going to be very interesting on how that shakes out. But I'm going to pass it on to you, Matthew. Who do you think will win here for the Big Machine Records 250?
There's a race I don't want to jinx Burnett. It would probably be this one. Now, this is a bit of a bolder pick, considering this team hasn't really been good. But their one shining light this season is the guy third in points in that number 8 car, Chris Jericho. I'm surprised he hasn't had a win yet this season, considering how consistent he is, being tied with Avery Alford in points, and if things go his way, he might end up with the points lead.
And that is a fairly solid pick, and he could take the point lead leaving here today, and he might get his first win on the season on the inside lane. It's going to be crucial here, and he has been one shining star for JRM. The Bo Country was strong early on in the season, but now that 17 has fallen off. But it's going to be a fun one here today. 47 laps, a precursor of what we might see tomorrow for the JBL Cup Series race. But Matthew Burnett and Jordan Stout, 4 races to go until the chase begins. And we are about to kick it off here in the Music City with Green Flag Racing. Once again, finally after 7 years at Nashville Superspeedway for the Big Machine Records 250. Oh boy, and we're gonna welcome it back with a huge crash off turn number 2.
They're wrecking big. They are wrecking big.
Oh, and Marco's upside down.
Marco upside down. Man. Already we have, and there's more troubles. Jordan Stout again. What on earth happened?
Well, I mentioned it's been 7 years since we've raced at this racetrack, and I guess that is what happens. Oh my goodness.
That's a lot of strong drivers taken out of that.
That was so many strong drivers, and drivers that didn't need those points hits here today, and some of them that got a good qualifying one, but they're not going to be able to take advantage of it. And Caleb Rose has damage. Kenneth Miller, Juan Garcia. I saw that Charlie Davenport cannot catch a break. He got destroyed, and look at all the colors that were involved in this one. The 15, the 5, 91, the 48 of Benny Watson, Alexander Rowe, William Ayers. So many drivers are on pit road. Jordan Stout, Carson Miller. That was the Nashville big one on lap number 1, and in turn number 2. My goodness.
Yeah, and I saw Ayers was one of the first cars to get sideways. Not sure if they went free wide already, which is a bit bold considering how narrow this track looks, but we'll need to check the replay.
Absolutely, I believe it was 3Y, and I've seen it in test races, but it was fine. But not that time, and unfortunately, welcome back to Nashville. A big time wet down the back stretch with multiple cars involved, and multiple championship implications here in this one. Let's go ahead and see what all happened off turn number 2 to bring out the first caution here today here at Nashville Superspeedway. Welcome back to Nashville. Turns 1 and 2, lap number 1, and there was a slight gap between the Double Zero and the 11, and Caleb Rose in the 38 tried taking it, got a little bit tight on that sit, and unfortunately is going to clip the number 11 of Jordan Stout, and not going to be what that team needs, but he's going to kind of save it, at least for now. And then up the racetrack goes the Double Zero of Nick Lopez, William Ayers, Charlie Davenport, and get ready for a long list here. The field doesn't really realize what is happening. Ryan Kendall with a tap. Keegan Thompson's going to slam into Charlie Davenport right there. A big hit for Nick Lopez from the 16. And then up there by the Ream. When the rear flipped off Eric Monaco. And just everyone stacked them up. And the track was blocked. And this is a narrow racetrack. And the track just got blocked. And then up ahead, you see, oh my goodness, that's what happened to Jordan Stout in number 11. I think he went up the racetrack after the fact and just destroyed himself and almost took out Caleb Rose. And there's just a lot to keep an eye on here, and this might take a replay or two to sort everything out, but the Nashville big one here at Nashville Superspeedway, and welcome back to this racetrack for the first time in 7 long years.
Now, when I first saw this wreck, I thought it was a free wide situation between Ayers, Garcia, and Davenport, but nope, it was just ahead of them. Nick Lopez getting turned off of Caleb Rose, as we see there, Jordan Stout. Their big hit there for Keegan Thompson on the passenger side door of the 2. Gonna take both of them out immediately. Tough break, especially for Davenport. He did not want that happening again. Man. A lot of other cars taken out there. Hernandez and others. We'll need at least another replay to get through all of that.
Another replay we will. Tough play for Charlie Davenport. Finally qualified well. And just the track got blocked off of turn number 2. Let's follow along with Eric Monaco this time. See what happened to that 97. Following along with Eric Monaco, and just like everyone else, we didn't really expect this to happen early on. And unfortunately for Monaco, the track gets blocked and not what he needs in the point scene. He's tried to avoid it. And then nowhere to go with William Ayers up the racetrack and gets sideswiped and side-slammed by Bradley Ream and goes for a long slide on his roof, and that's going to be the second of the 3 parts of bad days for Kaulig Racing, and just not a good crash right there, and unfortunate break for everyone involved. let's take one more look at this one, and let's follow along with the 11 of Jordan Stout to see what happened to him and why he is destroyed, and then we will finally get back to the restart here at Nashville.
So Jordan Stout here on the outside pole. Outside lane doesn't really get a good start here, and Caleb Rose, not sure what he was really doing going it free wide on lap 1. Stout wasn't really too happy about that, tried to merge back up, but merged way too late there, and basically took himself out. Takes out all 3 Collie cars with him. Man, there was just a lot to review from this. And hopefully we don't see anything like that again for the rest of the race.
Yeah, I did not have that on my bingo card when I put this race right on the schedule. A Nashville big one on lap number 1, and that was a tough wait. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get back to the restart. In a early restart here in the Big Machine Records 250. Well, welcome back to Nashville for the first time in 7 years. Lap 1, turn 2. And a Music City sized big one with multiple cars involved, and unfortunately a tough day for Collick as the 1197 and 16 are all involved in that one, and that's not going to be good for any of them because Stout needed a good one for the wild card, and Monaco needed a good one to even have a shot at the wild card, and he flipped. So tough days for a lot of drivers and big opportunities for some. They unable to lead us back to the green flag, and no one went down pit road besides the cars that had damage. And then Benjamin Amari Jr. in second, Matthew Burnett in third, Eli Bright in fourth, Brandon Beal in fifth, Angel Gutierrez in the sixth position, Roberto Connor Jr. in seventh, Felicity Mendoza in eighth, Ryan Duana in ninth, and Chris Martins will round out the top 10. And well, now we got a single file restart, so hopefully this is a lot better than what we just saw back green here in this one. A great restart from the 42 down entering turns 1 and 2 as the 51 of the Cosmos is back down onto pit road. Angel Gutierrez with a good one, and we're going to see this all day. They get tight in turn 2, and that might have been kind of what happened to cause the big one. And Alan Abel might be in a good spot to win here today and win in the Cup Series a couple of weeks ago at Michigan, and possibly win here at Nashville.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a good chance. I think he might make the playoffs if things go his way. But he'll probably need to win this race first off. But Benjamin Amai Jr. in second. He has been free-falling in the points as of late, now outside the top 20, and he's looking to pass the 39 here.
Oh.
He's looking down the
outside back on the
him.
caution.
Oh no, another caution. Another caution's out.
Don't know what this could be, and that might have been why Benjamin Amai got so aggressive. He wanted to win the race back to the line, and looks like there's some of the drivers in the back. Looks like Kenneth Miller might have just gotten spun around, and maybe Alexander Roll, and maybe Philip Torres as well.
Yeah, and Alexander Rose, one of the drivers. Oh, was that Chris Jericho with damage? That's not good.
I think he might be doing strategy. Maybe.
And I've heard that, or he has a tire down.
And I think it might be strategy. The 51 of Cosmo had a tire go down on the restart, so that's what happened to him. I think Jericho is doing some kind of strategy. It's about 30 laps on fuel, so as things would stand, he would have to pit again around lap 37, 38 roughly. So I'm kind of curious, does he take 4 tires on fuel and try something here? Or does he have a hatchery has damage, and looks like he's not going to take tires. Looks like he's just going to be fuel only. So either fuel only and fit damage, or just fuel only. And I believe someone just took it to the garage in the back right there. And I believe
Kenneth Miller.
Yeah, that was the 20. He just gave up, and the 51 of Carlos Miller, I said, yeah, the tire go down. Well, that destroyed something underneath the car, and now he's done as well. My goodness.
And yeah, and another driver competing for the wild card, Carson Miller, another driver who's been free falling in the points as of late. Tough break for the 51 team.
That's both of the current wildcard contenders with problems here today. Crazy, crazy stuff. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the second caution of the day here in the Baker Machine Records 250. Right after the first restart, we get a second one, and this is the cause of it. The 20 of Kenneth Miller was kind of slow on the restart with that damage, and Ben Watson, the Baker Machine caller for the Baker Machine Records 250, turns Kenneth Miller off of turn number 2, and Alexander was going to get spun, and it's going to be a simple spin for the third one, and then nowhere to go for Philip Torres in the number 24. He's also going to go for a simple spin down the racetrack right there. Third one goes up the racetrack. 20 and the 24 are going to go down the racetrack. And this hit is going to give a small hood buckle to the 24. The 20 is going to save it, at least try to. But gets into the grass, goes sliding. And unfortunately, he's going to go all the way down into the inside wall. And right there, that's going to take out the 20 for the day. And not a good day for the number 20 guy involved in both crashes here. And hopefully that is the last one that we see here today. And the 24 also hit the inside wall as well. So, a tough accident for those two and tough break for everyone involved. Here for the second caution of the day in this one.
Now, Kenneth Miller and Bang Watson already have pretty significant damage from the last wreck, but apparently we didn't learn from lap 1. As we see here, Bang Watson turning Kenneth Miller for no real reason into Alexander Rowe, and hard hit on the driver's door there for the 20 car. That's probably going to take him out of the race, but Torres and Rowe don't really have too much damage, so they should be fine, but they'll probably be off the pace.
Yeah, definitely not too bad for those two. Definitely for the 31, just did a simple spin. But tough boy for Philip Torres was 20 from points entering today, and that is another driver that could have a shot making into the chase late, and that's gonna hurt him. But it would be the number 42 of Amari Jr. still leading here in this one. And let's get back to a second early restart, and hopefully the final one here in the Big Machine Records 250. Well, really welcome back to Nashville. Second caution of the day, and under this caution, not one but two drivers had a tire go down as well. Carlos Miller blew a tire he's out from earlier. Well, both DeQuan Jr. and Angel Cadelas had a tire go down essentially at the same exact time. And we're going to see if they are done or not. And these two are not. They're going to keep on going. And they're going to have flusher tires than everyone else. And they're still going to have to pit again. So, chaos here at Nashville. Benjamin Amari Jr. is the race leader. Aaron Abel in second. Burnett in third. Felicity Mendoza in fourth. Juan Duran in fifth. Eli Bright in sixth. Avery Alford in seventh. Bernie Bill in 8th. Bruno Diacomo is in the 9th position. And then Gavin Perry is in 10th. And then after starting all the way outside the top 30, Logan Williams is all the way inside the top 11 for all the chaos. And we're not done yet. We only have 28 cars on track. Back going in a great restart for the number 42. Oh boy.
Oh, careful. Okay, they're good. Eli Bright's now in the top 5. I just realized that. It has not been a good season for this one team at all. Trying to salvage anything, even on the cup side.
Yeah, it's not been a good season for him whatsoever, and on the Cubs side, it's been more bad luck, but he has just not been a lot of speed. And finally, a good one here, and able back to the inside for the race lead. Am I trying to run the high side? Not a lot of grip up there. And how about some of these drivers? They've out for second in points, tied for second. He does not have a win yet, and now he is in the third spot. Burnett, who needs a good one to maybe even have a chance, is inside the top four. Beal is in fifth, and Diacono 3 wide, going for sixth, and now Avery Alford going for second.
Wow, and this is going to be big for Aaron Abel if he could win this. Started this race 7 points outside of the cutoff for the top 10, and with Bradley Ream now out of this race, he might have a chance to get inside the top 10, if not even higher. See Burnett now trying to get by Benjamin Amadi for the third position. And following through, Logan Williams somehow finding himself inside the top 5.
From, I want to say 31st or something like that. He's so deep in the field with 21st. Not that bad as I thought, but still a fantastic one from Logan Williams. And he has a fast car here today. He might get number 3. He's kind of fallen off a smidge from race pace, but he's still been very consistent. And he might have a race winning car here today, side by side with his teammate for the third place spot, and he might just fly on by, and he does.
Oh, a little contact there from Burnett and Amadi. They keep it together, unlike the first lap. And Ray Durrani's now in the top 5. We see Felicia Mendoza, who has somehow managed to get herself into 4th place in points in that 29 up to 7. And another driver who we haven't seen as much, Chris Martin's now inside the top 10, or almost, battling with Caleb Rose for 9th.
Definitely a momentum streak for Chris Martin's, kind of like some of the other drivers finally getting the feet underneath them here in the Krispy Kreme National Series. And, well, Logan Williams is absolutely flying. This number 44, gone past Avery Alford trying to on the high side. Looks like there's maybe a little grip in that second lane, but not quite. And Logan Williams trying to get his third win. We have 3 drivers with 2 wins this season, and 2 of them are from our team of Alpha Prime, and we might get our first 3-time winner this season here today. Alfred looks to be falling off here, and that's really going to play into effect here. It's already over half of the fuel one. It's about 30 to 33 laps on fuel and tires, and it was about a second of fall off every 15 laps, so the fall off is really starting to kick in here, and that might be what we are seeing, as I think this 44 was saving his stuff while it got crazy at the start, and he's closing in on Abel for a race lead. Amari to the inside of Avery Alford, and like you mentioned, we might have to worry about lap traffic throughout this race. Maybe, maybe not, but right now it's all Aaron Abel and Logan Williams for the top 2.
And you know what this reminds me of? It almost reminds me of Atlanta, the second race of the season. Logan Williams was in a pretty similar situation trying to catch up to, I believe it was Caleb Rose. He got by him with like 5 laps to go and was able to catch the win. But we're only 20 laps in now, and wow, Amadi's even... How about Benjamin Amadi trying to get a top 5 run for Travis Cranston's team, Young's Motorsports? 22nd in points, still mathematically in the wildcard battle, but a few points back. He's even got past Logan Williams for 2nd. Benjamin Amadi could win this race if everything plays out right.
He honestly could in that 42. I think saved his stuff here early on in the one, and he got past Logan Williams almost to the back bump of the 39 of Aaron Abel. And here's something that we have to keep an eye on. The 98 and the 7, they both are on fresh tires because of them having that tire go down under caution. And at least Angel Gutierrez is absolutely flying, and Clown Jr. is not that far behind him. So that's something that we have to also take into effect here. And side by side for the race lead, Amari Jr. and Aaron Abel.
Wow, and he's probably he clears the 39, so Benjamin Amai, another driver who has really saved his stuff, but look out now, here comes Angel Gutierrez. Not sure if he can make it on fuel or not, considering he pit on 15 or so, but he's looking really good now, and if a caution does come out, it could play into the fact of Angel Gutierrez and maybe even Roberto Crown Jr. Meanwhile, where is Chris Jericho? Chris Jericho's... Is he a lap down or...
12.
No, he's 12. Just outside the top 10, so a good recovery drive either way.
Absolutely, those three Dream Motorsports cars all in a row, 11th, 12th, and 13th. And Aaron Abel back to the inside, and this is, well, I forgot to kind of mention at the top of the show, we could see a fairly racy racetrack here with this version compared to 7 years ago, and Amari Jr. trying that second lane off for turn 2, looks like that's getting better as the tires are getting older, but Abel's going to clear, Logan Williams as well is going to follow through, and look at that 98 of Angel Gutierrez, and only 10 laps, he has moved his way up inside the top 3 after having a tire go down. He should not be able to make it. I think he's going to be a little bit short, so that could be interesting if this stays green. And for Angel Gutierrez, he's been getting better and better. He's one of those drivers that, like I keep on saying, he's gotten better as the season's gone on. He is 14th in points. He is battling for the wild card, or maybe to join his teammate of Nick Lopez into the chase on points. But he might win here today with this strategy. We gotta see how it plays out. For him having a tire go down under the second caution. And to the lead goes Angel Gutierrez.
Wow, and that's just how much of an advantage the fresher tires are for that 98 team. And not to mention there, Roberto Crown Jr. just now cracked the top 10. So don't be surprised if that number 7 does catch up to the front of the pack.
And honestly, I might be a little bit low for Angel Gutierrez. Like, no, he's really fast with those fresh tires, but he might be burning them up. And for Crown Jr., that 17, it looks like he's still fast. Obviously, he's getting a spot to every lap, but he's managing his stuff a little bit more and probably trying to save those tires later on in this race. That was close between the 29 and the 43 right there for the 4th spot, and then still going on for 2nd, it's the 42 and the 39, and really once the 98 took the race lead, he's not really pulling away by much, and like I said, there is a lot of tire, and he might have had enough tire to take the lead, but maybe not a lot of tire to pull away massively. But right now, it's looking pretty good. 18 laps to go, roughly here in the Big Machine Records 250. It's been a wild one, and we still have a round of pit stops to go here in this one.
Yeah, I think this race might come down to strategy on if that 98 team could stretch it as far as they could with those tires. And also we see here, Benjamin Mai still going strong in that 42. He's even got past Angel Gutierrez for the race lead. And Gutierrez only has 10 lap fresher tires or so than the rest of these guys. He's already burned his stuff up. And look at Crown Jr. He's just now caught up to this battle for 5th. Battle between Williams, Burnett, and Rayon Durrani as well.
If I remember correctly, I think at Atlanta, Roberto Crown Jr. had a very strong one going in that race as well. And he saved his stuff, and we're going to see pit stops here for everyone else. We're going to see this the first one. And I think Roberto Crown Jr., he might be good at this tire management game, because I think that's what hurt Angel Gutierrez. He had a fast caught with those fresh tires, but he burned up his stuff, so you definitely gotta manage that. But after this pit stop, you don't have to manage the tires, and that could be very interesting. As this down pit road, the 91, the 18, the 9, and pit stops have begun here in the Big Machine Records 250. Logan Williams, Caleb Rose, Chris Jericho, Alexander Woe, and Ron Kendall all going down pit road as well.
This is going to be interesting to see how much of an advantage that gives Juan Garcia in particular, the only driver of that league group, I'd say, that stopped on 31 going to 32. Now, this is going to be a double-edged sword here. If it works, it could work well. If it doesn't work if, say, another caution happens, which knowing the start of the race isn't too likely, it could work, but we'll just have to see.
And one thing that I don't know if this would really work, but everyone's saying 4 tires. What does Roberto Crown Jr. and Angel Gutierrez do here? Do they take 2 tires? We just have to wait and see. The 42, 39, 43 are down on to the apron on to pit road. 120 as well. And I think that's going to leave it to Angel Gutierrez and the 7 of Roberto Crown Jr.
I don't know if you just realized this. Juan Garcia might have just passed Logan Williams there, so the undercut they're working so far for this number 9 team, he is really... This is what I'm saying. Strategy might play into the game of some teams, and it's gonna work out possibly for Juan Garcia, and this is gonna be good for him. He has not had that good of a season, only 23rd in points.
And not a good season whatsoever, unlike in the JBL Cup Series side of things, but he's still in contention for a wildcard spot, and I was not expecting that. He was one of the first ones to go on to pit road with the undercut, and it's going to work out for him. He's going to cycle as the race lead as of now, but this is interesting. Roberto Crown Jr. and Angel Gutierrez is still not pitting, and that's the thing that we have to realize. They pitted several laps later. They shouldn't be able to make it, but the tire fall off is going to be so much different anyway. This could get very interesting. Juan Garcia is officially in 3rd. Williams is in 4th. Felicity Mendoza in 5th. Caleb Rose in 6th. Amari Jr. in 7th. Alfred in 8th. Chris Jericho in 9th. And Bronson Minute inside the top 10. I think he was another driver that did the undercut. And that worked out for him brilliantly as well.
And it's gonna really shuffle up the field here. Juan Garcia was just outside the top 10, if not barely inside the top 10. And depending on what happens with the 98 and the 7, he might end up with the race lead here if Logan Williams doesn't have anything to say for it, or even Felicity Mendoza in the 29, once again doing well inside the top 5.
Mendoza, one of the many drivers that keeps on getting better as the season has gone on, and because he's a quiet driver this season, get a race win. We got Mendoza up here, we got Jericho on the move, and oh no, Avery Alford just blew up.
Oh no, that's second in points.
That is second
Avery
in
Alford.
points. I was about to mention of him being quiet this season and maybe getting a good one. Well, never mind. And going for what we think will be the race lead eventually, assumingly, is Logan Williams to the inside of Juan Garcia, and he's going to take it. These guys are catching up with the 7 and the 98 at a rapid pace. We have 7 to go at the line this time by, and Logan Williams, Juan Garcia, Mendoza, Rose, Amari, they're all trying to catch up with the 98 and the 7 to get themselves back onto the lead lap before these two pit.
Thankfully for the likes of Williams, Garcia, and Mendoza, that did not cause a caution flag, but man, tough break for Avery Alford there, running inside the top 10
Oh
for
my goodness.
most of the race. And wow, you can just see how much faster Logan Williams is compared to Crown Jr. Crown will need to be careful if he does decide to pit this time by, but I'm not sure. Will they try and stretch this, perhaps?
Oh my goodness. I mean, for Angel Gutierrez and Crown Jr., they don't have much to lose. The 14th and 17th in points. They could win if they somehow stretch it. We saw crazier things here before as of late. Last week in the JBL Cup Series, Justin Seidel one stopped at Royal Miracle and everyone else did 2 stops and won the whole thing. So, I don't know. We just gotta wait and see what ends up happening. Never mind. Crown Jr. is on
Oh,
pit roll
Crown Jr.
with
pits.
5 laps to go. What does he do? I'm very curious. Does he take 2 tires or is he gonna take 4? He was very, very off the pace late on that one.
If I had to say, he'd probably take 2 just to get out quicker, but who knows?
White sides are on.
Also, okay,
And that's it.
okay,
2
that
tires.
Pink Gutierrez is in now as well.
Yep. And that's gonna cycle out with Logan Williams as the race leader for now, but Garcia is all over the back bumper. This is crucial for Juan Garcia. Logan Williams, he doesn't need this win. It would be another win and another couple of bonus points for Juan Garcia. He needs this win, not for the all-time wins list, or not only for that, but to possibly have a shot at making it into the chase for the wild card. 5, when you have 4 laps to go here at Nashville, and it's going to come down to Juan Garcia, Logan Williams, Mendoza, and maybe Caleb Bowles and Amari Jr.
And despite everything that happened right now, Benjamin Amai is still inside the top 5. And wow, I think Felicity Mendoza might have the faster car of these 3. He might make a move here on the outside of Juan Garcia, but will it stick here with 3 laps to go?
And how about that? From 3rd to 1st in a lap and a half, basically, Mendoza to the lead. And I mentioned that Ford has won a lot as of late. Going back to Pikes Peak, Caleb Bowles won at Pikes Peak, and then Michigan. And then Nick Lopez won last week at World America. Ford has won 3 out of the last 4 races. Mendoza is trying to make it 4 out of the last 5, pulling away with 2 laps to go. But with the way that this race has been, this is not over until it is over. But that 29, like you said, might be the fastest car in town late in this one.
And this is going to be important here, especially considering her agent Alexander Ventale already won a race in the JBL Cup Series as we go through for the Powerade 1 to go here at Nashville. It looks good for Felicity Mendoza.
It looks good, but cannot make a mistake. Garcia is in reaching distance of the 29. Can possibly send it in 3 and 4. It's going to be a good day regardless for that number 9. He's going to try something, but he's not going to be close enough. How about this? Quiet season, no more. Race winner, Felicity Mendoza, and win number 4 for Ford in the last 5 races.
It was about time Felicity Mendoza won a race, considering she got herself up to 4th in points, and considering if things play right, she might get up to 2nd in points there. We'll see Jericho finish 6th, so good recovery drive for that number 18. And how about that? Matthew Burnett holds on to a top 10, so does Chris Martins and Ryan Durrani.
Definitely some great ones that were needed for those 3 in the back part of the top 10. What a race here at Nashville. 2 early cautions, but then we saw a lot of strategy, a lot of great battles, and Mendoza with the win. 4th win for Ford in the last 5 races, and 3 out of the last 5 for Wyandotte and RSS Racing. That team might be one of the top teams at this point in the season. And I think Caleb Rose is another good one here today. That's going to help him. Mendoza, that's going to help her. Ballerine didn't have a good one, unfortunately, but Abel did. So, realistically, there could be 3 drivers for that team inside the top 10 leaving today. So, great one from that team. And what a race here at Nashville. And I think we might just keep it on the schedule. We'll see what the Cup race goes tomorrow. But, fantastic stuff all day long. And, apparently Duncan Wood also had a tire go down the same way as Carson Miller. So, that's not good for him in the chase cutoff line. A lot of mechanical issues and a lot of tires. I mentioned that we bought the same tire at Atlanta, but you didn't really see this. We saw 5 tire failures and 2 of them took someone out. So that was a wild one. Mendoza gets the win. Juan Garcia in 2nd. Local Williams in 3rd. Caleb Rose in 4th. Benjamin Amai Jr. in 5th. Pritchard in 6th. Aaron Abel in 7th. Chris Mullins in 8th. Burnett in 9th. Dwani in 10th. White in 11th. Minnick finally goes right for him in 12th. Alexander Mo, that is a great point there. Even though he got involved in, I believe, the 2nd caution, he still got inside the top 15. That's going to make things very interesting for the wild card battle because of Jonas Allen and Carson Miller having problems. Gavin Paley, Bruno Giacomo, Juan Kendall, Hallie Anderson Jr., Brian Beal, all the great ones that needed it, that have struggled. And then I like the strategy call from Andrew Gutierrez and Roberto Country. They tried something, trying to stay out and change the tires, but it didn't really work out. They finished 19th and 20th respectively. Whew, what a race here at Nashville. And what's the final thoughts on that one? And how do you think the Cup race will go for 75 laps here tomorrow?
Wow, if the end of the race for this series is anything to go by, we're going to be in for a fun one here. Big shout there for Benjamin Amai. Arguably the best that 42 team has run all season there. Definitely going to get him back inside the top 20 in points for sure. He could have won had strategy gone his way, but strategy had other plans here and allowed Felicity Mendoza to get RSS Racing their 3rd win of the season.
Absolutely, and let's see what RSS Racing can keep on doing, and they might be a team to watch out for to compete with 14 for the rest of the season. And let's see what ends up happening. Great one from Mendoza, great one from Rose, great one from Abel, and a tough wait from Bradley. Next time out will be, I believe, 2 weeks from now at Pocono Raceway for race number 14 on the season. So until then, we will see you guys tomorrow for race number 16 on the season for the JBO Cup Series for the Broken Bow Records 400.